the entrance, please? We're going to have the ceremony inside the park here. Go in the bowl, you can sit down, whatever you want to do. We're just going to kind of congregate in this area. Come on in, we're getting ready to start. All right. Well, this is a long time coming. Welcome everybody to the Waxhaw Skate Park grand reopening. In 2009, the skateboard park was built largely through Tom Risser's efforts and the community works of Waxhaw.
Yeah, Tom! Woo! Yeah! Thank you.
All right. The skate park in Waxhaw is one of the most visited parks in Waxhaw. This place is always full in the afternoons, and a lot of people come from out of town just to come to our skate park. And I could see why. And especially now that Tom Risser's put his touch on it once again, you're going to see probably the use of this park grow even more. 10 months ago, we started a Parks and Rec department, and about 10 months ago, I had the opportunity to meet Tom Risser. I heard a lot about him, but never had met him. So one of my first things I wanted to do when I got into Parks and Rec was reach out to Tom and simply say thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done for the town of Waxhaw, because there's evidence of Tom not just in the skate park, but all over town. So that was really nice, and never did I think that that conversation would turn into standing here today with Tom and the renovation that's happened to the skate park. Shortly after we had that conversation, Tom approached me with a really well thought out professional plan on what he could do to improve erosion here, debris, and the feel of the park and the skateability of the park. So it was very exciting to receive that. And from there, we had a very big collaboration between the town and Tom and a lot of great volunteers to make it happen. With that, I've asked Tom to say a few words today because really, if you're at the skate park, you know who he is. So without further ado, Tom Risser.
Thank you for coming. I know you guys would probably rather be skating than listening to a middle-aged skateboarder talk out here in the sun, but they asked me to say a few words. I didn't know we were going to have a grand opening. We sort of had the soft opening for the last couple months, so I've been out here skating around. I hope that's been okay, but it wasn't official. So today we make it official, which is very cool. Actually, I think we opened the park like 9 years ago, is what I recall, 2006. So it's been a long time. When I did a speech 9 years ago, I think I had 7 pages to listen to. So one of the best improvements of this skate park is that I don't have a 7-page speech to give you today. I just wrote a few things down, a couple pages. And I basically was asked to talk about the improvements. If you're not a skater, then we focused on drainage, concrete repair, erosion control, tree damage, concrete reinforcement. But if you're a skater, our main focus was to make it more awesome. Awesome is a favorite word of mine. Hopefully you'll hear that word a lot today. But to make it awesome, you really can't do it on your own. And we had a lot of people that helped, a lot of volunteers that came out. I really appreciate all of them. I wanted to say thanks to some of the folks from work that came out and helped me out. There's a bunch of skaters. People drove down from Lenore, from Asheville to help out, from Concord. And then some of the biggest help was from the town itself. Todd and his service group, they helped pull down trees, repair concrete, grind up stumps. I don't know if you remember, there were trees there, tree over there. They're all gone now. And they put up with me making a big fat mess on this park. I know they probably looked at me and went, "What are you doing dumping all that metal over there?" And I appreciate their great attitude over it while I was breaking bobcats, smashing the window of my truck, and even breaking one of my fingers. But now we stand here a few months later, and I think it was worth it. My finger doesn't quite work right, but I'm definitely would say it's worth it. And it really shows what you can do with passion, commitment, and vision if you have a bunch of neighbors that come together, and it feels really good. I think actually adding on to this park was harder than building the original park for me. It was a very difficult thing to modify. You know, going in and jackhammering concrete out for 3 days is not something I necessarily ever want to do again. The other thing that was difficult in a renovation was to help attack culture. You know, we've been really struggling to get this remodel going for a long time. But now it's a very optimistic feeling to be able to come in here and offer some assistance. We were able to do things like take a half pipe that was 24 feet wide and full of water and eliminate that problem. And at the same time, I think we were able to tackle public perceptions about what kind of a person uses this park and cares about this place. You know, we struggled for a while with the disappointment on a sunny day to come out here and see the gate locked, and I really haven't had that problem in a long time, and it feels really good to have a solution to both that, the culture, and the physical issues with the park. So today you can see the physical remodel. You can kind of see the concrete. I don't know if you can recognize that under that concrete is thousands and thousands of pounds of metal. Basically rebar, reinforced. Every 12 inches there's a piece of rebar underneath there. And basically, to me, that's the skeleton or the armature or the reinforcement that's within the park. And as an artist, I think metal is awesome. I think also what you got to notice is that that skeleton you can't see in this concrete, there's also something you can't see that's reinforcing this park, and that is the culture, the Parks and Rec Department. The Parks and Rec Department did not exist here 9 years ago when we built this park. So to me, the single biggest improvement is actually having that department. And then also having a couple restrooms isn't a bad idea either. We didn't have those here 9 years ago. I was thinking about that after a couple Gatorades today. But basically, the Parks and Recs Department with Natalie Jackson at the head of it is the reason I'm out here. When she contacted me in that email, I really felt a light, a positive support structure from the town. And then I said, here's a 7-page proposal, maybe we can do something. And then you start telling kids, you know, maybe we could build something over there. And the excitement really took off. And so I really appreciate that. And to say thanks, somewhere over here I've got a gift. Who did I give that to? Sam? Yeah, can you give that to Natalie? So, right there. My son Sam made one of the trophies today, by the way. If anybody's a Mario Kart fan, I don't know if you know who Toad is, but he did a sculpture, a little skateboard of that. Yeah, there you go. You're welcome. Create joy or live simply. Some of my mottos. I like to hand out stickers, so today make sure you get yourself a sticker. I like to make metal stuff, so hopefully, yeah. Natalie's the only person I know who came in here and grabbed the piece of the concrete that we jackhammered out of the half pipe and took it away with her. So I was like, you could put it in this plate. You're welcome.
I will wear this for pride.
I tie-dyed a couple of shirts. My wife says, that looks kind of gnarly. I'm like, no, it's handmade. She'll like it. Natalie's been so key to keeping this gate unlocked. You know, the skateboard park has a lot of my heart in it. I don't know if you guys remember on the half pipe there used to be a metal heart. It was welded on the side of the half pipe. I put a lot of hearts in my sculptures. If you go around town sometimes you can find little hidden hearts. But we had to bury that heart in the concrete when we added on. So I've added another heart into this park. If you can find it, let me know. I kind of put that out as a challenge to a couple people. It's in the skating surface. It's not on one of the little sculptures. It's actually in the skating surface of the park. Let's see if you can find it. Maybe you can get a t-shirt out of somebody if you say where the heart was. Because it's very important to keep that heart exposed, to keep it unlocked. You know, this place is about joy to me. The heart was never meant to be locked up. So I sometimes emphasize that in my artwork. I definitely emphasize that in the skateboard park. I definitely like to see the heart unlocked or the gate unlocked. I've invested a lot into this park. I think you guys could probably tell when you saw me out here struggling in the dirt. And I really want to thank the families that came up and said thank you and brought us bottled water. That was awesome. Somebody even brought us an ice cream cone one time. I was like, that is so cool. I really get a lot out of building the park. I also get a lot out of skating the park, and I enjoy hanging out with the guys. You know, when I'm skating, I still feel like a little kid. I don't know what I look like to you guys. I really don't care what I look like to you guys. I'm probably just having a big smile on my face and zooming around and enjoying it. Basically, if you're a skater, you'll understand this. When I'm skating this park, I feel like I'm flowing, you know, with the bumps. I'm flowing with the surface. I'm basically a surfer on the cement. I'm the same age when I first found out what a urethane wheel was all about. I'm internally happy, I'm externally smiling, and I'm eternally a skateboarder. My hope is that this park will continue to change lives. I really think it has. I mean, some of you guys were like this big when we built this park, and you're still out here going. That's really cool. It inspires me. And it's an example to this town and other communities of what you can accomplish with just very little financial commitment, but basically commitment by time, passion, and involvement of your neighbors to fill that financial gap. And hopefully somewhere out there in this group there's some champion of a cause, you know, somebody who will take it to their heart and say, I want to be a volunteer in my community and make a difference. That person may build the next skateboard park, or perhaps something else. You know, these longboard guys now got these pump tracks. I don't know if you've seen those things. They go around in circles and pump. I know a couple places in Waxhaw where we could build some of those. Or go to Rock Hill, check out that BMX park they've built. You know, that town has really taken over on the BMX side. Or maybe somebody here will build Phase 3 at Waxhaw Sk8. There's a couple t-shirts out here, and they say Phase 2 on them. Phase 2 is sort of a note to myself. I built this skateboard ramp back in the 90s, and we built 8 phases onto that ramp. And I'm not really good at stopping at Phase 2, so you never really know where to go. Although in the 90s I was like 10 years old, so, you know, my back was a little bit better at the time. You do believe I was 10 years old in the 90s, right? Yeah. Thanks, man. Anyway, I hope there is somebody that kind of takes over and runs with it. I don't want to be the designated maintenance man out here until I'm 85 years old. And I think there's some good people that can help in that way. The answer, though, for whoever that volunteer is in the heart of that person. So try to find that secret heart inside you or within this skateboard park, because I really think that it's very good to have a heart that's visible and not hidden. And to me, that is the definition of awesome. So thank you very much.
This is for the town of Waxhaw.
Again, thank you very much. I asked Tom in an email, could you give me a rundown of the materials that went into the park? And I just wanted to give you a few notable things that he told me in the email, which was a very extensive email. 6.5 truckloads of concrete, 4,000 pounds in rebar, 7,000 pounds in steel, 200 feet of metal framing, 6 loads of steel from a scrapyard. These are just the highlights, okay? Basically, the skate park, if somebody would have come out and built it to the way it is today, it would have been a $200,000 skate park. Okay, so Waxhaw has been given a gigantic gift, greatly to the credit of Tom Risser, saving the taxpayers quite a bit, giving us a wonderful amenity that we can have for our youth here. So I just want to share just a few of those numbers with you to tell you just a little bit of how much he really did out here. At this time, we actually have a couple presentations for Tom Risser. So Kayla Harity, if you come forward. Tom? One thing that I knew, I was thinking, what can we give Tom that would really mean a lot to Tom? And basically what's important to Tom are all the guys and girls out here that come to the skate park and use it. So what better way than have them sign it in the community as a way of saying thanks. So that's been circulating, and a lot of folks here today signed it for the grand opening day, and that is just a very, very small token of our appreciation.
Cool, thank you.
I know. I've heard that. I've heard you love skateboards. Also, with that, we're going to go to Tom's metal art. If you would, Lisa Hoffman, if you would take them over to Tom's statue. We have one other thing that we need to make right. All right. doing the remodel for the Waxhaw skate park, he buried an old plaque. And the plaque was a plaque that said, "Thank you to Tom Risser for all you've done." We didn't think it was right to leave it buried in the cement, so we decided to go ahead and put one right here next to his artwork, and ma'am, if you would unveil it and read it. And the fellow that was
And I guess I'll wait for the train. Because, you know, nothing like a little fanfare. What are they doing? So with great appreciation for Tom Risser, the town of Waxhaw sincerely thanks Tom Risser for his overwhelming support of the Waxhaw Skate Park, his personal construction efforts, financial contributions, maintenance, and mentorship of its patrons have exemplified the spirit of our community. Without his passion for skating, our youth, and our town, this park would not have been possible. Installed for the occasion of the Waxhaw Skate Park grand reopening on July 31st, 2015. Thank you, Tom. And you know, I just want to say a few words about this man, Tom Risser. You know, what we have here is a fantastic facility, and it's a real emblem of the type of heart that Tom has for our community. But he's done more for Waxhaw than just what you see here. You may not realize this, but a number of years ago, was it 2005, I think, when we started putting sculptures in the downtown area? He essentially single-handedly kicked off public art in our downtown spaces through the installation and contribution of, there were a half dozen, six or eight sculptures that he just put in our downtown areas so that people would have some art to look at in our downtown. And, you know, that really set a, you know, it created a new culture in our downtown area where there was an expectation that art would be there. So, you know, more than just skating, he's the father of public art in Waxhaw's downtown. Thank you so much, Tom.
1, 2, 3.
Are we cutting?
Cut.
Really cut?
Really
Yep.
cut.
That the ramps are like perfect for me, like my skill level.
Biggest ramp.
The biggest ramp?
The biggest ramp here.
Is it too small? Does it need to be bigger?
Yeah. It needs to go like 12 or 13 feet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Down rail.
How come?
I mean, it's just really nice to skate. You just put it in, and it's really fun.
The shark would swim away because he is scared of Tom.
Awesome.
Probably fight it.
Right?
He'd probably fight it. I mean, he built this park and it's gnarly, so I think he would fight it.
No, the shark would swim away. He'd be scared of him.
That's awesome.
He'd probably like on a surfboard like grind it or something. He'd like get on the shark and start board sliding in the wave with the shark. And the shark would be like, "Oh, I can't eat him." It's, "Oh, I can't do anything about that." He's the person who built this amazing park.
What does this park mean to you?
Probably everything, because I skate here almost every day.
Yeah, he's the one who made the park.
Tom is the greatest person to ever be born. He built all of this, and he lets us come skate at his house.
May? The guy who found the sound?
Thank you for building all of this new amazing stuff that I can skate now.